Hi! So, since I am attracted to girls and I was assigned female at birth, I'm going to talk about coming out as gay to my friends and family. Crazy situation. I grew up in a tiny town out in the middle of absolutely nowhere, where just about everyone went to one of the three main churches in the area, which isn't a bad thing. That's just how it ended up. I knew almost everyone in my entire school district. Not my high school, but elementary school, middle school, and high school. I graduated with a class of 56, so I definitely knew everyone in my grade. My mom was a teacher at the middle school, so not only did the students know who I was, but just about every single staff member, teacher, janitor, office administrator, secretary, principal, superintendent, everyone knew who I was. I was a very active member in my church that I went to, and my church taught that homosexuality was wrong and it's a sin. So it never crossed my mind that I was gay. It wasn't even a thought. It wasn't an option. I definitely dated guys in high school. I remember this one time, I had a fight with my mother one morning. And when I got to school, my boyfriend at the time knew that something was wrong. So he goes in to hug me. And it was the most awkward feeling in the entire world. I didn't want him to hug me. He was my friend. But he was my boyfriend. So I had to let him hug me, right? Anyway, long story short, I broke up with him because he tried to hug me. I just felt so awkward. I became really close with a guy who started coming to my church during my senior year, and he became my absolute best friend. He was awesome. He was fun, he was energetic, he liked me. I actually felt comfortable with him. I would give him hugs. Every time I saw him, I'd give him a hug. No big deal. He definitely was the first and only guy that I think I've ever been comfortable with. And I did wait until marriage to, you know. Because that's what I was supposed to do. So I never really explored that side of me until after I married my best friend from high school. I have only done the deed with one guy. That was my husband. He was in the military. Things went really fast. He joined boot camp right after high school. I started college. He moved and said, "Are you coming with me or not?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm coming with you." So we got married and we moved out of state, which was really awesome. I was very happy to leave my tiny town. So the first time that we had sex was probably the most uncomfortable, confusing, painful, horrible experience in my life. And everyone says that your first time will be painful or could be painful, but no, this was excruciating pain. So after a while, months of trying to please my husband, I thought something was wrong with me because the pain never went away. It was always there. Sometimes it would be less painful than other times, but it was still there. So I went to the doctor. They never gave me any straight answers. They're like, "You're 100% healthy. There's nothing wrong with you. Try this, try that. Prescription this, prescription that." Unfortunately, nothing worked. Absolutely nothing worked. And I didn't understand what was going on. My doctor ended up saying, "Your body could be rejecting him. So you need to try a little more of this. You need to try a little more of that." Still, nothing worked. It definitely felt like my body was rejecting him. And it was just weird. It was really weird. I'd never heard about this. So my husband, being in the military, went on his first deployment. Not too long into our marriage. He, being a very naive, young, straight, cis man, he didn't want me to be sexually frustrated. So he technically gave me a free pass to be with girls, but not a guy, because that would be cheating. Anyway, my initial reaction was no. Ew. Why would I do that? That's not me. I'm not a bad person. Okay. So, side note. Being into the same sex does not make you a bad person, but that's just how I was raised. That's how I grew up, thinking that people who like the same sex are very, 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 very wrong. I said, hell no. And then I went and watched the entire series of The L Word. Oh my God, Carmen. While he was still deployed, I went home for Christmas alone and got to spend the holiday with my family. I remember being in the truck with my childhood best friend. I said, "Hey, I gotta tell you something really personal." And she goes, "You're a lesbian." What? No. I just think girls are pretty. Right? You're a lesbian. No, quit saying that. No, I just think girls are like really, really pretty. I love my husband. Fine. Okay. I'm a lesbian. But I love him and I don't know what to do. And I did a lot of soul searching, a lot of exploring and figuring out what I should do. I was actually really surprised. My childhood best friend, whose parents are like second parents to me, grew up in an even stricter household than I did, and she wasn't disappointed in me. I ended up telling my husband that I was thinking about trying to be with a girl. He gave me a thumbs up. I started talking to a girl, just purely talking, because I had all of these thoughts going on in my head and I didn't know what was going on with me. Being with a guy was really physically painful and I didn't want to live my life like that, but I was taught that homosexuality was wrong and I was very, very, very conflicted. I met this girl and we talked for a couple weeks. One thing led to another, and mind explosion, body explosion. Being with a girl was so incredibly different physically, mentally, and emotionally that I didn't know how to handle it. It was like I found something that I've been searching for my entire life and have only scratched the surface. And now I figured it all out. I found it all out. I like girls. I like girls. So he came home from deployment, and the night he came home, I tried to do my wifely duty. It was horrendous. I ended up breaking down crying. Pretty much told him that I can't love him the way he needs to be loved. And he can't love me the way I need to be loved. It just doesn't match up. He was surprisingly calm. He's not a very calm guy, but he was surprisingly calm. And though he was extremely hurt and sad and heartbroken, something inside of him knew. He knew that there was something going on with me. Now for my parents. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe. Bye.